Welcome back to my channel. I am Edwin. I am the Pretty Green Vinyl Guy, and today I have my best albums released in 2024. I'm going to count down the best new music that I bought on vinyl for the year 2024. Now, 2024, as it turned out, was a great year for new releases. Some of my favorite bands put out new work, and that's always exciting. And it was good work. Some of it may even be some of the best music in their entire catalog, which is amazing to think with maybe the duration of time they've been making music. So I've got 12 albums here. I did have two other new purchases, but with the Canada Post strike, they're lost in the mail right now. I'm not going to get them till later. So I'm going to just pretend that they don't exist, and I'm going to count down the 12 that I have. Now, all 12 are very good, even the last, 10, 11, 12. I don't dislike them or hate them, but they're definitely on the weaker side of the countdown. So let's get into it and count these down. So at number 12, I have this self-titled album from Liam Gallagher and John Squire. Of course, Liam from Oasis and John Squire from the Stone Roses. It seemed like a match made in heaven. And it's not a bad album. Like, I enjoyed it, but it didn't really grab me that I wanted to listen to it every single day. Love the artwork. There's a couple of good standout tracks. But yeah, it's decent, but it's not outstanding. And I wanted outstanding when I saw that these two guys were going to be making an album together. Anyway, that's the first one, number 12. Number 11, we have 66 by Paul Weller. Now, anytime Paul Weller releases an album, it's a welcome to myself. There's the Mod Father there. Beautiful packaging with the Peter Blake artwork. Just fantastic. Again, not a bad album, but something I just didn't go back to listen to many times. I did see the tour supporting this in Vancouver, and some of the songs did play better live. I liked it live. But again, it just wasn't a total home run, but still very welcome. Okay, at number 10, we have Green Day, Saviors. This was a nice return to form for Green Day. And I do like this record. Side 1 in particular is very good. This was produced by Rob Cavallo, who of course did Dookie and American Idiot. So they're back on that sort of form, that pop punk kind of idea. I did really love the lead-off single, The American Dream is Killing Me, is awesome. Bobby Sox, One-Eyed Bastard, Dilemma, Side 1 rocks, and it is a very good album, and I have been spinning this. Number 9, we have the Black Keys. This is Ohio Players. Now, this was supported on the album with Beck and with Noel Gallagher. And I mean, when you're bringing those two in, this is a great album. There was one song on here, I think it's Candy and Her Friends, that kind of irritated me a little bit. But other than that, it's a pretty damn good album. I equally love the contributions on the songs that both Noel and Beck do. They don't do them, they're separate, they're not together. And interesting, they've got a cover on here, I Forgot to Be Your Lover, which is an old Booker T song, which is To Be a Lover that Billy Idol had a hit with back in the 80s. So the Black Keys, Ohio Players, good album. Very much back on form, from similar to their first two albums more than the latter. Okay, next we have the Black Crowes with Happiness Bastards. If you like the first two albums of the Black Crowes, you're gonna love this. The sound is very good, and it's got that great raunchy sound that Chris and Rich Robertson do so well. And yeah, if you're like the Shake Your Money Maker kind of style, just want to put on a nice guitar driven rock and roll sort of feel, you're gonna love this. Happiness Bastards. Okay, I put these two together, and this is the Smile. This is what, number 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is number 6. This is, the first one was Wall of Eyes that was released in January, and then Cutouts was the follow-up in October. They were both recorded at the same time, although this isn't leftovers of this. It was a vision of two different sounding sort of recordings. You all know the Smile, of course, is the guys from, oh, I'm blank now. The guys from Radiohead, Tom York and Ed Greenwood, and the drummer from the Sons of Kemet. And these are good. This is a bit more of that landscape, big sound that was kind of prevalent in a lot of music this year. And then this one's maybe got a bit more guitar in it. I actually think I prefer the Cutouts better, but they're both great. I mean, anything you can get, you know, I mean, I'm a huge Radiohead fan, and anything I can get that even closer resembles anything is just great. So these are both fantastic. I'm going to tie them for number 6 on my list. At number 5, I have another concert I went to this year, and this is Pearl Jam. This is Dark Matter. And this was a real return to form for the boys in Pearl Jam. There's my tour hat from this tour. This, of course, was produced by... I should have had my homework out. It's the guy that did the Rolling Stones last year with their sort of return to form. And he's got a real kind of interesting production style that a lot of people don't necessarily like. Here we go. Andrew Watt. And I mean, I really did dig that Stones album, and I really do dig this. And this is packed with great songs. It's classic Pearl Jam. The title track, Dark Matter, Sacred of Fear, Wreckage, Won't Tell, Upper Hand, Running, Waiting for Stevie. It's just a great play. I didn't get tired of it. I put it on a lot. I would rank it maybe in the top 5 Pearl Jam albums. Yeah, Dark Matter, Pearl Jam. At number 4, I've got David Gilmour's Luck and Strange. This is fantastic. It's soundscape. It's got some Pink Floyd guitar sort of epic songs. It's got some singer-songwriter with his daughter singing on some of it. And just a brilliant album, beautifully put together. There's a great booklet with it as well. And, you know, this is bookended by Black Cat, which is the starting track, and Scattered, which is the end track on side 2. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful album. Couldn't say enough. I love the artwork. Look at that. I was in England in October for 10 days, and he was playing at the Royal Albert Hall, but you could not get a ticket for love or money, so I would have loved to have seen him in there. But anyway, that is my number 4, David Gilmour, Luck and Strange. Sorry, number 5. Number 4, this is Jack White, self-titled. Jack White from the... What's that little band he was in? Oh yeah, the White Stripes. If you like the first 2-3 albums of the White Stripes, you're gonna love this album. This was a huge surprise. I didn't even know this thing was around, and all of a sudden, in the beginning of November, I started hearing about it. And this has just got that raunchy guitar and reverb and just, yeah, like that kind of tinny drum sound. It's a lot of fun. It's a great album. Quickly became a favorite. From the first listen, you're like, oh, this is kind of catchy. This is really cool. So Jack White. My number 3, and these guys have been in my top 10 or so albums every year for the last 3 years. And this is the Fontaines DC from Dublin. This is Romance, their new album. I literally played this the first time and fell in love with it. It's great. It's got a post-punk sound. Again, this kind of dreamscape sort of sound that's been really popular this year. And this is a really good album. I would say after their debut, this is probably my favorite now from Fontaines DC. They're coming to Vancouver next year, and they're supposed to be great live, and I'm really hoping forward to seeing their show. But yeah, this would be my number 3 album of the year. My number 2 album of the year is Wild God, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Wow, what an album. It just takes you on a journey. It's so emotional. It's so sacred. And even though it's as depressing as hell lyrically, God, it's just so good. It just, what an escapism. What a movement. And yet there's joy. And that's the interesting part, because the, influence for this album is, of course, the passing of his son. And man, I don't know how you get the strength to do something like this, but what an album. And oh my God, it's fantastic. I'm so excited. I've never seen him, and I'm going to see him in Vancouver in April or May next year at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre, which is an amazing venue. So Wild God is my number 2. And probably no surprise as I've gone through all of this, but my number 1 has to be The Cure, Songs of a Lost World. Wow. Talk about a return to form, and maybe one of the better albums in their whole discography for a band that's been around as long as The Cure. What a freaking album. I love this thing. Again, between these two, your depression level is through the ceiling, but oh my gosh, they're just, again, takes you on this journey and these large dreamscapes and instrumentation. And, I love that classic, Robert Smith doesn't come in for about 2-3 minutes into some of these songs. Classic Cure. And back to what The Cure sounds like, back what we want The Cure to sound like. And wow, what an album. Just love it. So that's my number 1, The Cure, Songs of the Lost World. End song is unbelievable. A war song, Alone. My goodness, what a fantastic album. If you don't have, I'd say, any of these top 5, they're all absolutely 10 out of 10 albums that I could not recommend anymore. Just sheer perfection. Well, guys, thank you for supporting my channel. If you're not already a subscriber and you'd like to subscribe and support my channel, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, looking forward to doing more videos, and have a good one.